Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. It is an absolute pleasure to be back, but it is even more of a pleasure to be joined by veteran channel friend and just overall good-looking bloke, Mario Gagliano, coming in from NYC. How you doing, my friend?
What's up? It's been too long. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, bro. Now, I know that the green screen isn't the best thing to put in the background because we can see you getting a bit of like an afro, like the hair going on. There's a little bit of a thing, but we know that there's an agenda behind this background. So why don't you just get it out early, nice and early for everyone so that we diffuse it?
Everyone's always complaining about Handanovic. You, Christian, literally everybody I talked to. And I'm like, from the beginning, I said, why isn't Onana starting? Why? Someone give me a reason why. And this is exactly why. These stats over here, 24 out of 37 shots. If you go and look at Onana's save percentage, which I could change the background later and just to prove a point, it's literally the same thing. There's no difference. It's face value. It's shots faced 34 at 27. Whatever it is. It's so similar that it's like the most minuscule difference. I'm like, the things that Handanovic lets up, Onana would save 100%. The things Onana lets up, Handanovic would 100% save. It's just like the stupidest goals. It's like I don't even know. Like the goal against Monza the other day, he was so he wasn't even out of position. He was so flat-footed. He got caught unprepared to make the save, and that's why the ball went in. But it's the same shit. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I like what you say. He was unprepared to make the save, and that's exactly what I thought when I kept watching the goal back. Straight after the game, I thought to myself, I'm like, I feel like if Onana was on his front feet, if he was on his toes, he might have had an extra half a second to move across and get a glove to that. He was caught completely stuck.
Then right before that, I don't know if just really quick, just down this, they put a shot on him. He parried it inside the 6-yard box and then was crawling to knock it out of bounds. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Handanovic just picks that up nice and easy, distributes, and we counter on our way. Listen, Onana's not all that he's cracked up to be. He makes the amazing saves, but he's very fundamentally poor.
In what way?
Like when he parries a shot, he's not pushing it out of bounds, out of the 6-yard box. He makes a save, and the ball's like, here, tap it in. If there's a forward there, that's going in. If you're playing against Juve, that's going to go in. If you're playing against Milan, that's probably going to go in. Some of these rebounds he gives, it's bad. And then he'll come out, he'll get cheated. He'll cheat. I'm sorry, he'll cheat the play. And you have a mini nightmare sometimes. Handanovic, he's not going to move. He's going to look at the ball. But the things that Handanovic, the mistakes are just like, it's the complete opposite. It's so backwards. Onana will save the most incredible shot, and then all of a sudden, the ball will fucking just drop in front of him, and he'll not know what to do. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
I missed having you on here, man. I feel like we've had some growth on the channel since you've been on. We've had some channel members and everything come in, and look at this comment to you right here, Emiliano, my boy.
Oh my God! Listen, I listen. I understand that the long term Onana's better, and Onana makes all these amazing things. The goals that he lets up, I'm sorry, but I think Handanovic saves them, even as bad as he's been.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to have to agree with you 100%, but I just missed having you around, bro. So do you want to show everyone the beautiful jersey that you've got, the back on, a tribute to
So I'm not wearing this because I'm a Lazio fan. I'm a Jerry Mancini fan, but I got the the Mihailovic on the back. Had to make my entrance grand.
So proper. Yeah. So proper. Very, very nice. Let's go over to some comments. We've actually got 17 people already that hit this video, which is nice. Matteo is in the chat. Heavy rotation will happen most likely because our whole midfield is injured, 100%. Back-to-back lives. Thanks, Giovanni, for coming through. We're definitely going to start slandering Lukaku in this video. In the short, about 25 minutes that I've got Mario here for, we're going to cover Parma, the prediction, the lineups, and this latest Lukaku injury as well. Who else is in here? Ian Kerr's in here. Thank you very much for coming through again. Ian, quick question, Mario. Lukaku or Correa, who's been the biggest bomb this season? Tough one, eh?
It's one worse than the other. I think Lukaku because I think Correa.
Because they're both so expensive, man. Like it's so bad for the price we pay.
Like at least Lukaku's on loan, so he's just gonna fuck off at the end of the season. That's the only positive. And Lukaku's hurt, probably not 100% fit, probably never got 100% fit.
Yeah,
that's my guess because it's been bad. This is banter Lukaku.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely horrendous, man. And the fact that he's come back with an injury again, and the way that it was miscommunicated by the club last time. They said that it was a small injury, and he ended up being out for 6 weeks leading up to the World Cup, and then bombed at the World Cup. And now he was here for the Monza game. Didn't even train in the warm-up. Was in the dressing room undergoing some extra massage therapy. Came on at 2-1 and had the worst game we've ever seen him play in an Inter shirt. 10 turnovers. For 15 touches. 36-year-old Dzeko literally laughing at him on the sideline. And it's not the first time this season that one of our players has actually made fun of Lukaku for his touch and his inability to control a ball. So it's becoming a little bit embarrassing, bro. And for me, he's never been as mentally strong as he claims that he is. And I feel like with all the weight that he carries physically and mentally, each recovery becomes slower and everything becomes prolonged with this guy. This guy's on the wrong end of his 20s, man. If we don't have an obligatory cause to renew his loan, we can't do it, Mario. We got to send him back to London.
I don't even think it's worth it. Like at this point, like you're buying or you're bringing a dream. Like you're bringing a once in a lifetime opportunity or once in a lifetime chance that he brought, and this is what Lukaku is under anybody but Conte. Seems like a bum.
Yeah.
He just can't get it together.
Well, he was at his peak fitness under the Conte Pintus regime. That's when he was at his peak fitness. And, like Sharma said in his awesome preview that I watched on my walk this morning, he goes, like, Lukaku's always been a big, clunky player with a brick-like touch. And even when he was playing under Conte, there were still many frustrating games that he played, but he would stat pad his way to a good performance because we'd win the game and he'd have 1 or 2 goals to go with it. But he's always been the same player, always been that same player everywhere he's gone in his career, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a blip in his career that he just played good for like a 1 season wonder, 2 season wonder, whatever it was, and he's back to what he was, what everybody thought he was, what everyone knew he was before he came to Inter, and Conte fixed him temporarily. Whatever he did, it worked, and it's I guess
because he must have played really well somewhere before he went to Manchester United. That's the reason they forked out 70 mil. Was it Everton? It was Everton, right?
Yeah.
So I remember him
good there.
He was good there. He was more athletic there. Now he just looks like he's just beef, man. It's all beef with this guy, and he just can't move. He's so easy to mark. Yeah. He's so easy to mark as well. Like the defenders did not look like they were trying that hard. As long as they got the right side of him, they knew just be a physical presence around Lukaku, and he'll either A, cough the ball up, or B, make a pass in a dangerous direction where the rest of our defensive shape can pick up the slack.
Yeah, like there was one opportunity where I thought he was going to go into like that prime Lukaku. He received the ball on the right side of the pitch, turned, and was like looking at a defender, and I'm like, all right, he's just going to knock this around him and just go straight to goal, like Osimhen does now. Nothing. And I was like, what the hell did I just watch? What is Lukaku doing? What's he trying to accomplish with this? It's just like there's no point. There's no purpose for anything he does anymore. It's tap-in merchant. At this point, what is he?
Yep. Exactly right, man. Let's talk a little bit about our opponents tomorrow in about 23 and a half hours time, about 22 and a half hours time. We kick off against Parma in our opening match of the Coppa Italia. Remember, guys, watching Inter go straight into the round of 16 for the Coppa Italia. It's literally, it's a 5-game tournament for us. You get the round of 16, you get the quarterfinals, you get 2 legs in the semis if you do make it that far, and then the final after that. So as Balkan Warrior, he expects all youngsters tomorrow to prove themselves, or if not to prove themselves, at least be given a chance. We'll go through to the lineups in just a second, but Parma, they'll come into this confident. They'll come into this wanting to play pretty much the game of their lives. In Serie B, having a mixed season, mid-table at the moment for Parma. I'm interested to see what players come into play for them, but basically, have you followed them at all since being relegated at the end of 2020? 2021, Mario? I've got a couple of stats here.
Minimally, I mean, other than Palermo, I don't really care about anybody else in the second division.
Yeah, exactly. Parma, so basically, they haven't found their identity in Serie B as quick as they would have liked. I think a lot of their fans were expecting a promotion straight away. They've had to basically spend a season in Serie B already, and it looks like that they could spend another one in there if they don't pick up their slack a little bit more under new coach Fabio Pecchia. But a successful half of the season for them would look like making the playoff bracket, which is, I think, the top 6 in Serie B. Top 2 get the automatic promotion, and then there's a 4-way playoff for the last spot. So a successful end of the season for Parma looks like at least finishing in the top 6. They're 9 points away from automatic promotion at the moment. So that's not done just yet. But, they've got some strengths. It all depends on what lineup Pecchia choose to go with, because there's a few players for them to watch out for. Before moving into the lineup, I will say that mentally, they're a fragile team. They concede a lot of late goals. They concede a lot of goals just based on mistakes. Very rarely will they play a very good 90 minutes. They have a lot of errors in their arsenal in their game. And I think that over the course of 90 or 120 minutes, Inter just might be a little bit too strong. Let's go over to the predicted lineups at the moment, which, bear in mind, I couldn't find anything on Sky Italia, or I couldn't find anything on any Inter outlets either. So we're going to have to use a little bit of a bootleg one from the Hard Tackle, which I can already see has got some errors in it. But we'll fix those up in just a sec. So let me just move in a little bit more.
The hell is this?
This is the Hard Tackle, man. Are you saying like the website or the lineup?
The lineup. What is this?
Yeah.
Guess.
I don't know who wrote this article, unfortunately, but Hakan is definitely injured. That's for sure. Lukaku is also out of the game. And that's just come out in the last 8 hours. I don't see DiMarco starting anywhere besides that left wing back spot that he's been very good at recently. And I'm pretty sure Handanovic is still 50-50 in terms of his match recovery. So
He's out.
the lineup that he's out, isn't he?
I think so. He's out.
Yeah, guys, like this
Breaks my
lineup
heart.
that we've got on here, I've just used it for a visually appealing purposes, but you're going to have to pretty much sub Onana in for Handanovic. I actually think DiMarco doesn't start at left center back. I don't think Gosens is going to start. I just don't see it happening. I'd like to see him start this game, but we'll see what happens. In Hakan's position, you're probably going to have Henrik Mkhitaryan because we've just got nobody else. The midfield is that thin at the moment. I've got to ask you a side question, Mario. When you look at some of the players that we lost last season that we thought were okay to just leave, it's a big drop in quality, man. Like having that Arturo Vidal, Alexis Sanchez, Ivan Perisic level mentality of depth, that was such a big loss that I did not see us not replacing. Like I thought that we replaced it okay by bringing in some younger players, some fresh blood, but it just hasn't worked out the same way we wanted it, man.
Nah, it goes back to what Conte said. Like these are just young guys that don't know what to do. I mean, they're not like world beaters. They're good players. Don't get me wrong, but they're not. They're a big drop off from what it was. And what's the media?
Sorry for the ad. Still.
Get a website. No, yeah, but you don't have anybody that comes off the bench that's like, okay, this guy, even though he's old like Alexis, he can still make a difference. There's no difference makers. Gagliardini is not a difference maker. Aslani isn't a difference maker. Bellanova isn't a difference maker. Gosens, I mean, he had a couple good games here and there, but he's not a world beater where it's like, okay, you throw him in the lineup and it's like, why isn't this guy starting? It's like, okay, DiMarco's better, sort of thing. And I hate DiMarco. There's no like experience. That's the thing. There's no one who's been there, done that. Arturo Vidal, Alexis Sanchez, those are two guys that they've been there, they've done that. Dzeko, you throw him into the lineup, you're like, wow, this guy should be starting somehow. So there's such a drop off, and I don't know why it's so far off, but I mean that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, thanks to Zil Sharma. Thanks for that. I've just quickly looked it up and it is a lot better. I'll make sure to use this website from now on if I can't find anything on Sky. So we've got something a little bit more accurate up on the screen. We've got Onana, D'Ambrosio, De Vrij, Bastoni, Bellanova, Gagliardini, Aslani, Mkhitaryan, Gosens, Correa, and Martinez. That's a much more accurate lineup based on who's fit and who is gearing up and ready to go. In this game, man, I think either one or two things is going to happen with Correa. Either Correa is going to have the worst 90 minutes ever, or we win the game by a couple of goals, and he's the reason why. I can really see this game being a game where Correa comes in and just does something. I feel like, remember that game where we beat Verona 3-1 last season at the start of the season, and Correa was just there, and it was all about him? I really do think it will be about him in this game. What do you think, man?
I mean, this is a Serie B team. If he can't just show up and walk around these guys, it's a problem. These guys are supposed to be so much better. Correa, I don't even think I've seen the guy pull a full sprint in 2 years. Like, the guy is so slow. He's quick on the ball, sure, quick feet, but to see him run to a ball, I'm like, what is this fucking guy doing? It's so slow motion. Like, 35-year-old Ranocchia, I've seen more out of him.
Yeah. Speaking of Ranocchia, man, he was the reason that we got through in the round of 16 against Empoli last year, remember? I actually think were we covering that game live or at least extra time live? I think we were. I think it was one of the Yeah, we did tee up for that. And guess who scored the winning goal in extra time? Stefano Sensi. We got all these players that are just last season news, all these players that contributed. So there you go. The players that aren't here, Ranocchia, Sensi, and Perisic, are literally the reason why we won the Coppa Italia last season.
I miss Perisic so much.
And Alexis Sanchez scored a bomber against Roma in the quarterfinal last season. Our entire Coppa Italia run and victory last season is attributed to players who are no longer here. So don't be surprised if we get kicked out of this round of 16. Like, who's there to save our ass this time? Mario, are you still on the anti-DiMarco train? Our friend King Darian asks. Yes. Any reason?
Until he scores a bicycle from the top of the box, I don't want to hear it.
Mario Delgado says, hi, Anthony, I'm pissed because Alcaraz will be a Southampton player. I saw that this morning. Another young talent lets slip away. At least you signed him in career mode. I remember when I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh yeah, Alcaraz, the guy from career mode. He signed for Southampton. And then my train of thought quickly went, Mr. Delgado, team coming last in England has more financial freedom than Inter. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. I'm sure if you asked Carlos Alcaraz, who would you rather play for? He would say Inter. And then everyone around him would be like, brother, that's just not a possibility. I'm really sorry. You're going to have to go to the team coming 20th in the Premier League. I'm really sorry about that, man. You hate to see it. But at the same time, if you don't laugh, you'll just cry, Mario, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So the opposition. Now, I don't know if they're going to start. I think Chichizola is how you say that name. Is it? The keeper?
Kikizola.
Kikizola. I don't know if they'll start Kikizola or if they'll bring Il Grande Gianluigi Buffon out just for this game. Do not be surprised if Buffon does start this game. I actually don't know how many games he started this season for them. From this particular lineup, I don't even think they've got him on the bench. So I don't know if he's injured, because I would really appreciate it if he was absolutely nowhere near
He's played 3 games.
The game. He's played 3 games only.
3 games.
Okay, so yeah, he's not going to play this game. No. Now, looking at their bench is what was interesting to me. Is that Marco Bodiello?
I don't think so. No, he's like 40. No way.
Yeah, it can't be. So it can't be him. Is this the same Koulibaly that played for... no, it can't be.
Napoli?
No, definitely not. I think it was for Salernitana, but I doubt he's made the move to Serie B. I highly doubt it. I don't know. I'm having a quick look now just so I can get my bearings right.
Just looking at it. A defender, Woyo Koulibaly. Where did he play before?
Where did he play before?
Le Havre.
Yeah, okay. So definitely not the same one. Definitely not. But yeah, all good. Where's Bruno Alves? Does he still play for Parma?
If that guy still plays, I have a chance to go professional.
And who's this Romagnoli? I don't even know who this Romagnoli is. Yeah. Anyway, this is their starting lineup that they're predicted to have. Del Prato, who I said yesterday, watch out for. He's actually quite a decent player when he's on the ball and does know how to mark. Same with Juric. But other than that, I actually thought Inglese was going to start this game. Apparently, he's out of it as well.
They have Franco Vasquez?
Yeah, they have Franco Vasquez. Yeah.
Random.
Have they not said that he's starting? Man, this predicted lineup is all over the shop. Predicted lineup is all over the shop compared to what mine was yesterday.
Go down to the
bench.
Under the subs.
Ah, yeah. Here we go.
He's not even there. Ansaldi. That's it.
How Ansaldi? How is Bruno Alves and how is Vasquez not even in this predicted? I know that they're still in the squads. Oh, well, anyway, for those who don't know, Vasquez was in the Sevilla team that beat us in the Europa League final.
Bruno Alves he's at AEK.
Is it AEK now?
Yeah, in Greece.
Is that in the first division in the Superliga?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a coach. He's a sporting director. He's toast.
I swear to God, I saw him in one of the predicted live squads yesterday. Unless I clicked it into another link and it took me, when you type something in and it takes you to a game from like 2 or 3 years ago, but you don't see it. I have a feeling it might have been from that.
Yeah, he hasn't been with Parma since 21.
Oh, there you go. So it's about a year out from there. I think Ian Kerr always with the Buffon slander. I think Buffon is injured. Probably. He's 45 years old. I don't know how anyone can expect him to play fit. Christian says, that's not even the saddest thing. What kills me is that he will play in the Prem for 6 months and then down to the Championship he goes. If he's that good, man, Southampton will just... How much did Southampton pay for him? 10 million?
14 million, something like that.
14 million? They'll just sell him for 21, 22, 25. And then that's more plus Valenza. That's more plus money for Southampton than they really expect to get for anything. So, anyway, let's start... Oh, my bad. I removed Mario instead of removing the screen. My bad. Let's talk a little bit about predictions and how we think this game is going to go. The longer this game stays tight, the longer we're in trouble, the longer we're inclined to go to extra time. And the last thing that this team, this set of players and this squad needs is extra time. And God forbid, penalty shootout. We have had 2 penalty shootouts in the round of 16 in our last 6 seasons, I think, 5 seasons. The latest one was against Lazio, where we lost. I don't know if you remember that game. Do you Remember that one? I was watching it in the gym at school. I had first period off. Not as a
I
student, as a
don't,
teacher.
I don't remember. I don't think I saw that game because I would have remembered penalties with Lazio.
So we were down 1-0, and it was after the 93 minutes. We were fouled in the box. Icardi scores the penalty. It's literally the last kick of the game that goes straight from that to extra time, I think.
I
Or it might
remember
even go straight.
Pordenone.
That was the one before that. I think that was the
Yeah,
year before that. So
that was
yeah,
the year
2 years in
before.
a
I
row.
remember that one.
2 years in a row. The Pordenone was the round of 16. Lazio was the quarterfinal. And Raja Nainggolan actually smashed his penalty over the bar against Lazio. Against Pordenone, I remember it went to like 8 or 9 penalties
Yeah, it was a long
altogether.
one.
It was a long one. And then we got down our line. I think Mauro was trying to ask people, like, who's next? Who's next? It got to João Cancelo, and João Cancelo was like, nah, bro, like, this ain't for me. I'm new here. I don't want
That
the
doesn't
heat.
make any sense. João Cancelo was such like a, I don't even know. He was like an important player, and you're like, I don't want to take a penalty. Now, I think if you ask him now, he'll be like, I want first penalty.
Dude, that was when he was on loan from Valencia. Think about what João Cancelo's accomplished since that day in the round of 16. He ended up making the Champions League with us, then went to Juve and won the Scudetto, and then went to Man City and started winning almost everything else. So, and it was actually, it was Nagatomo that actually just put his hand up in the line and went, F it, I'll take it. I want to go home, bro. Like, doesn't anybody else want to go home? And he scores it, and everybody starts running and celebrating, bro. Good times.
That's when I was a Juve fan.
Sorry?
What?
Oh, man. I reckon we'll win this game. I reckon we'll win at 3-1. I said yesterday that I could see us losing at 2-1, but after thinking a little bit more clearly today, this team should have enough quality. If not, it'll just be embarrassing. More so, I think that we'll rotate so heavily that there'll be very little chemistry. So expect a lot of misplaced passes, a lot of balls trying to get behind the Parma defense that don't, a lot of moving off the ball that can be marked a little bit closely from Parma. It really depends. I just believe Parma is going to really focus, because if they don't qualify for Serie A next season, they might still have something nice on their belt, like a Coppa Italia quarterfinal to look back on. So for me, this is Parma's game of the season so far, which is always a danger to a team like Inter, even more so when the chips are down and we've just copped a late goal to Monza, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they have more to play for than us. Like, they'll actually probably make money off of these kind of games. Like, if they move on, they get money. For them, that's a big deal because they don't have it.
Yeah.
So they have to win.
Mattia says it will go into extra time. Mark my words. It's probably a good betting market open for this game to go to extra time. So
I want penalties.
You think penalties?
I want penalties. I don't think penalties. I want penalties.
This isn't the first time you've said that. I know you're a bit
I
of a
always want
penalty.
penalties. I don't care who's playing. I want penalties.
You want penalties unless it's like the final of something, right?
No,
or
I want
even in the
penalties.
final. You want penalties.
I want penalties. I want
love the
penalties to
drama.
start the game.
You love the drama, don't you?
I love it. I want to see players under pressure, what they're going to do. I want to see the defender who thinks he can take a penalty, take those stupid small steps, the little stutter steps, and then kick the ball 40 yards over the ball and over the bar and then cry. That's what I want to see. I want to see teams. I want to see people,
I haven't seen any defender except Bonucci be able to execute the short run up and the penalty. He's the only defender I've ever seen try it. And yeah,
as soon as I see that like a little hop step or like the little, like the Zaza.
You know what else I don't like? I don't like how a lot of players these days, they start their run up like really centrally on the ball. Like, I feel like one more step to the right and you're actually starting it on your weak foot side now. Like, it's absolutely bizarre.
It's nuts. Like the penalties. I mean, I could talk about this forever, but the penalties now are crazy. Like with the hops right before the shot and the goalie's like, every time I'm like, oh my God, like it's unreal. Like the how creative people are getting. That's what I want to see. I want to see like how people take the penalties. Like I started watching like the Lewandowski, the Balotellis. That's when I was like, all right, they're onto something. And so what they do is they take that stutter with their right foot. It's a delay, and then they take the left foot. They look at the goalie, and then they pick the corner because they know the goalie's going to move. So on that right footstep, so it's like boom, bah.
But you have to be so quick and clinical after making eye contact with the keeper. You're a keeper. Do you like saving? Do you like facing penalties?
I love penalties. I don't even give a shit if I'm taking them or saving them. I love them.
Yeah.
Because when I take them, I don't miss. Straight up, I've missed one penalty in the last 20 years of playing soccer. and I take a
You
lot of
just smash
penalties.
it? Do you smash it?
I used to no, it's always calculated because like I said, I started watching the Balotelli and the Lewandowski way where they do that little stutter, and it works like a charm every time. I haven't missed. Actually, I missed once last year doing it. It was the first penalty. I fucking cried after.
Oh, that's
It was
funny.
bad. I
How'd you
was like,
miss
what?
it? Did you
It
miss
was
the
bad.
target or was it saved?
I hit the post.
Ah, spewing.
Fucking even worse.
Atrocious.
Yeah, penalties are the
How
mine.
dare
I
you?
love it.
Do you think so? You think you want penalties or you think it's going to penalties?
I want penalties. I don't think it's going to go to penalties, but I want every game to go to penalties. I want the league games to go to penalties even. Cut the
Even
game 70 minutes and go to penalties.
the Euro final, you were happy for it to go to penalties?
Oh my God, I was ecstatic. I live for that.
Oh man. So what do you predict will be the full-time result?
I think it's realistically it's going to be like a 2 or 3-0 win. I don't really think Parma has anything to give to this kind of team. Even with missing starters, I don't think I think there's such a drop off between Serie A and Serie B that
Yeah.
they're just not going to keep up. It's
Yeah.
going to be. I think Korea might even have a really good game because
Yeah.
you know, like I understand that they're still professional players. They do all that. They're gonna give a tough time, but I think that they're like one of those, like how I always say, how Empoli, great team to watch. They're so fun to watch, but then like there's a mental breakdown and they leak a goal, 2 goal, 3 goals, just because like they don't have it. They don't have that defensive capability to just keep up with the Juves, the Lazios, the Inters, even like the Sassuolos, Roma. You put them with those teams, they'll give a good game. The game's going to be like 3-4. You'll see like 5 goals regardless of whether it's a 4-1, 5-0, or like a 3-2. So I
Yeah.
think we're gonna put a few goals on them. I don't think they're gonna come back. If they do, it's gonna be some corny shit.
Yeah. No, fair. All right, fair enough. That's where we're going to leave you today, guys. Thank you very much to everybody that came into the chat. I really appreciate it. And thank you to my good friend, our good friend of the channel, Mario Gagliano. We will see you soon. Are you active or doing any work in the cultural sphere these days? I haven't really checked it out.
I did actually start my own sort of podcast show on game days through FanFest. So you'll see me tweeting out probably, I don't think tomorrow's game, but maybe like in the next coming weeks. I'm gonna start to pick it up. I gotta talk to the guys I work with over there, and it's basically like a preview, a halftime, and a post game show. Like right, not like the night of, the morning of, the day before. It's during the game. So I'll be on Twitter, and you'll see me on. I'll share the link whenever I do it. I need guests for it. So if anyone wants to pull up, I need guests for it. You, Mo, whoever can come, people in the chat. I need people to kind of pull up to it. So if you guys can support me with that, I'd appreciate it. It's
No
it's
worries.
just like an inter fan fest. I don't have a name for it yet. It's
Yeah.
kind of in trial.
No, all good. No, it was fun last time. And you know me,
Yeah,
whenever I'm not at work or at school, I'll definitely jump in. So thank you
appreciate you.
very much, bro. We'll see you soon. Forza